vibration. So here you can see here this motor acts as a forcing function. Okay. So we came to know that there are three types of forcing functions: periodic forcing function, impulsive, and random. And periodic is subdivided into harmonic and harmonic. So we can say this is harmonic is in the scope of this subject, whereas this non-harmonic is not in the scope. So now we have considered a very simple spring mass and damper system, which is subjected to a force F naught sin omega t, because we have considered this force as a simple harmonic motion. Okay, so F naught sin omega t, and if it is got displaced by an amount of x, then finally we'll get this as the uh, differential equation for this. So this is a linear, non-homogeneous second-order differential equation. So the solution for this consists of two parts: complementary solution and particular integral. The complementary function is obtained from the differential equation mx double dot plus kx dot plus kx is equal to 0. That is by considering no forcing function. So the solution is this is what we have already solved in free vibration, and this solution is for the values of beta which is less than 1. Okay. So now the particular solution, we have assumed the particular solution as x sin omega t minus phi, where x is the amplitude and phi is the phase lag between the displacement and forcing function. So if xt is x times sin omega t minus phi, then we got the value for we got the expression for x dot and x double dot. Okay. And we have substituted everything in the differential equation. So this is the differential equation, and we have written the vector diagram for this. So here, please have to listen carefully. X is equal to x sin omega t. So that is this is x is equal to x sin omega t vector with an angle of omega t minus phi. Okay. And then next f naught sin omega t. So here this is f naught, and sin omega t is the angle. Okay. And c omega is kx sin omega t. So kx sin omega t minus phi. So kx is here, minus sin omega t is the minus sin omega t minus phi is the angle. Okay. And c omega x sin omega t minus phi plus pi by 2 is here, and finally the one more, that is m omega square x sin omega t minus phi plus pi is here. So by constructing this vector diagram, we can get an expression for x and phi. Okay. So here, what I did, I just draw a line which is parallel to c omega x. Okay, so I got a triangle. So this is the triangle here. So this is a triangle. That is so we have a triangle here. So this is f naught. Okay, and this you can say this is phi, and this is c omega x, and this length is, what is the length?
kx minus m omega square x.
Minus m square x. Okay. Now from this we can get the values for x and phi. Okay. Now from the triangle, what we can say is if I apply the Pythagoras theorem to this, what happens? What is the Pythagoras theorem?
Kx minus m omega square x whole square
is equals to kx minus m omega x m omega square x whole square plus c omega x whole square. is equals to f naught square.
F naught square. Okay. So can I take the x common in the left hand side? K minus m omega square whole square plus c omega whole square into x square, that is equal to f naught square, or x square is equal to f naught square that divided by k minus m omega square whole square plus c omega whole square, or x is equal to root of f naught square divided by root of k minus m omega square whole square plus c omega square, or x is equal to f naught that divided by root of k minus m omega square whole square plus c omega whole square. So this is the expression for x. And what is the expression for phi? What is tan phi?
Tan
Tan phi is equal to what?
c omega x by
You-
kx m omega square.
kx minus m omega square x by c omega x. And no, sir, no, sir, c omega x by kx minus m omega
X by kx minus m omega square x. Okay. Or c omega x that divided by k minus m omega square multiplied by x. So here this x will get cancelled. Our phi is equal to tan inverse of c omega by k minus m omega. So this is the expression for phi. Okay. But these are not the required format. We need to modify this so that we can get this in terms of a non-dimensional form. So let's say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Now consider the equation 1. So divide both numerator and denominator by k. So x is equal to f naught by k that divided by root of 1 minus root of k minus m omega square whole square plus c omega square that whole divided by k. So how can you simplify this? This is f naught by k that divided by the root of, if I bring this k inside the root, it will become k square. So that will be divided for both the terms. So it's k minus m omega square whole square that divided by k square plus c omega by k whole square. Right? Or we can write it as f naught by k that divided by root of k minus m omega square divided by k and divided by k whole square plus c omega by k whole square. So here k will get cancelled, it will become 1, and omega n is equal to root of k by m, or k by m is equal to omega n square, or m by k is equal to 1 by omega n square. So here m by k is 1 by omega n square. So this is equal to f naught by k that divided by root of 1 minus omega by omega n whole square c omega by right. Is it right? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
And you need to rewrite this C omega by K also. So C omega by K. So the C omega by K can be written as C by Cc that multiplied by Cc multiplied by Cc multiplied by omega by K. Okay, so here this C by Cc is nothing but
Zeta.
C by Cc is nothing but zeta. Okay, and what is this Cc? Cc is equal to 2m omega n. You know this.
Yes, sir.
Cc is 2m omega n. So, so in case of Cc, so C by Cc is zeta, and that Cc is 2m omega n. So this what happens? 2m omega n that multiplied by omega by k.
M by K is
Right.
1 by omega n square.
Mm-hmm.
M by K is 1 by omega n square.
1 by
Omega n square. No, sir. Next step.
C, or else we can write this C, C that divided by Cc, okay, multiplied by Cc, and that divided by 2m multiplied by 2m, okay, and that divided by k into omega. So there is no problem with the terms. Okay, these two will get cancelled and these two will get cancelled. So finally, we'll be left out with C omega by K only. So C by Cc can be written as zeta. This is zeta multiplied by here. You know that Cc is equal to 2m omega n, or Cc by 2m is omega n. So in place of this, I can write omega n multiplied by 2m by k is equal to 2 into 1 by omega n square. So in place of 2m by k, I can write that 1 by omega n square into omega. So here this omega n square will, these two will get cancelled. So finally, the final answer is 2 zeta omega by omega n. Correct? Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now can I substitute this 2 zeta omega by omega n in place of c omega by k here? So x is equal to x naught by k that divided by root of 1 minus omega by omega n whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. Okay. Any doubt?
No, sir.
And here we define one more term, that is x ht, that is equal to f naught by k. We know that k is equal to, isn't it? Or f is equal to k by x. Or sorry,
F is equals to K.
f is equal to kx,
K.
f is equal to kx, or x is equal to f by k. Okay, so this f naught by k can be written as x ft by x ft, that is equal to f naught by k. See here, f naught by k is known as static deflection. Okay, but this is not same as delta. Okay, this is not same as delta. That is what we in the free vibration while solving the problem on simple pendulum and all, we have neglected the what is that? Static deflection while deriving the equations. Do you remember that? The delta ST is equal to mg by k. This mg, m into g term. Do you remember that? We have neglected this. Okay, but this is xst is not same as the delta st. Okay, xst is is the zero frequency deflection. Zero frequency deflection of spring mass system under the steady force F naught. Okay, so this x is nothing but xt. That is what we have assumed earlier. Okay, we have assumed the solution, the particular solution as xt, that is equal to x sin omega t minus phi. So can we substitute this x here? Can we substitute the x, the value of x, that is equation number 3, in the assumed solution for the particular solution? Here. So therefore, xt is equal to x sin omega t minus phi, and that is equal to x st divided by root of 1 minus omega by omega n whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square multiplied by sin omega t minus phi. So what is the total solution? And the complete solution is x is equal to xt plus xt. What is the complementary solution? That is a2 e power minus zeta omega n t sin of root 1 minus zeta square omega n t plus phi 2 plus x st by root of 1 minus omega by omega n whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. Okay, and here multiplied by sin omega t minus. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
But here there is one behavior, that is in this the complementary solution. Okay, here this is, you know, that this is from the damped free vibration for underdamped case. So we know that in the underdamped case, the amplitude or the vibration will die down after some time, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
And this one, this is the particular solution for this. If you plot the graph will be like this. It will be steady, continuous. Okay. So this type of behavior can be called as transient vibration, and this is known as steady state. Steady state vibration. Okay. And this transient vibration will die down after some time, whereas the steady state vibration will be continuous as long as the forcing function is active. Now, what if you merge these two? Because these two are acting at the same time. Okay. These two solutions are acting, or we are getting these two curves at the same time. So if we merge these two together, we may have a graph like this, or the displacement versus time like this. See, we may have a graph or the curve like this. In the beginning, for some time, there will be both complementary solution and particular solution. But after some time, there will be only particular solution. So that's why in the initial cycle, you can see the transient here. Okay. Now there is something you need to understand here. What is omega and what is omega n? What are these two terms?
So omega n is natural frequency and
Omega.
omega is angular velocity of the driving speed.
See, omega n is the natural frequency of the system, right? Whereas omega is the excitation frequency or frequency of excitation, or the operating frequency. Here, if you look at the first picture, omega is the operating frequency of the motor, whereas omega n is the natural frequency, which is the property of the mass and the spring. So you should not get confused with these two terms. Omega is the operating frequency and omega n is the natural frequency. Okay. So here the transient vibration will take place at damped natural frequency, whereas this steady state response occurs at the frequency of excitation. Okay. Here you will not get confused. Okay, now if I take the solution, that is, so finally the final solution after some time, after the system reaches the steady state, the final solution will be the this one. This will be the final solution. Okay. So now there are some more terms we need to define. That is, one is the magnification factor. Okay, next. Magnification factor. So magnification factor is nothing but it is the ratio of x and x, okay. So magnification factor is represented by x by x that is equal to 1 by root of 1 minus omega by omega n whole square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n whole square. And also phi is equal to tan inverse of we have not
C omega by
the simplified version of it. What is that? Phi is C omega by K minus M omega square. So tan inverse is C omega by K minus M omega square. So we need to simplify this also. How to simplify? So divide by K.
Divided by K on
Divide by K. We are both numerators. So if you divide by K, what happens? C omega by K will be the numerator. Okay. And in the denominator, you will get 1 minus M omega square by K. Right? So what is this C omega K? C omega by K? I think that we have done.
2 zeta omega by
C
omega.
omega by K. 2 zeta omega by omega n. So 2 zeta omega by omega n. And M omega square by K, this we need to rearrange it. So M omega square by K is nothing but omega square by omega n square. This K by M is omega n square. So M by K is omega n square. So this is equal to 1 minus omega by omega n whole square. So phi is equal to tan inverse of 2 zeta omega by omega n that's divided by 1 minus omega by omega n whole square. Any doubt? Any doubt in this?
no sir.
So now we can have some of the problems for this to solve on this magnification factor and how to and what is the value of phi. Okay, so that is if the operating frequency is something and if the system has the mass and the stiffness and the damper, then what happens to the response? Okay, we can have so many problems. We can have the numerical examples for those values. Okay. Okay, this is the question. A periodic torque having a maximum value of 0.588 Newton meter at a frequency corresponding to 4 radians per second is impressed upon a flywheel. So here, before going into this, I would like to recall that force and torque are the analogous terms. Okay, the same way, displacement x and angular displacement theta are the analogous. And so here, instead of force, there is a torque here. That is 0.588 Newton meter torque is applied at a frequency of 4 radians per second on a flywheel suspended from a wire. The wheel has a moment of inertia of 0.12 kg meter square, and the wire has a stiffness of 1.176 Newton meter per radian. The viscous dashpot applies damping couple of 0.392 Newton meter at an angular velocity of 1 radian per second. to calculate the maximum angular displacement and the maximum couple applied to dashpot and the angle by which the angular displacement lags the force. So here you can say you can have a sketch like this. Okay, this is the flywheel J as the moment of inertia, which is suspended with the help of the wire, which is having a stiffness KT, and it is subjected to couple also. Okay? So that is CT, because C is the damping coefficient for the linear system, and CT is the damping coefficient for the torsional system. Okay? So now these are the values are given. So we need to find out the maximum angular displacement, that is theta. We need to find the value of theta, and the maximum damping couple. What is the damping couple? Can you remember what is damping couple? What is the damping couple?
The couple is nothing right.
So here the couple is C omega X is the damping couple. Okay, C omega X. So here we need to find out CT omega in place of X. I need to write theta. So I need to find this. And the last one, the angle by which the angular displacement lags the torque is nothing but phi. I need to find these three terms. Okay. So can you recall what is the expression for X? X is equal to S0 by root of K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega square. So here S0 by root of K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega whole square. Okay. Can you rewrite this equation for the torsional system? This is for linear, and what is for torsional? In place of X, I should write. What should I write in place of X? Theta, that is equal to in place of S0,
Tau naught.
like T0, that is T, it is a torque. Okay. In place of K, I'll write KT, minus in place of M, I'll write J omega square whole square plus in place of C, I can write CT omega whole. Now I have to use this equation to find the maximum angular displacement. So where T0 is given in the question, it is 0.588 Newton meter, and KT is also given. There is a stiffness of the wire, that is 1.176 Newton meter per radian, and the damping coefficient CT is 0.392 Newton meter at an angular velocity of 1 radians per second.